Hey, what's going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about 5 ways that you can increase your cold email open rate so that you can book more meetings and close more deals. Your open rate is probably one of the most important parts of a successful cold email campaign, because if no one is reading your emails, no one's going to respond, no one's going to book a call, no one's going to buy. It doesn't matter how good your email copy is. If the subject line is off, or if no one's opening your emails because they're going to spam, you're not going to get any meetings, so you're kind of screwed. My name is Jacob Tuweiner, and I love making videos about cold email and sales. In the last 6 months, I have closed around $800K in contracts for my company, which is X27, a company that specializes in cold email outreach, and we've generated close to $100 million for our clients. So we know a thing or two about cold email. In today's video, you're going to learn how to increase your open rates. By the way, if you're enjoying the video, please give it a thumbs up, because it really helps me and other people who may want to see this content. YouTube has an algorithm that essentially, when you like the video, it shows the video to more people, so that would really help me out. Okay, let's jump into it. If you are using cold email to get more clients, then you need to have the highest quality leads possible to get the best results. I've just put together a free training that will help you do exactly that. It's a series of short videos that will walk you through the exact lead generation process that I've used to close hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of business, all using cold email. It's step-by-step, very simple, short videos, and some of my students have already used it to close 5 figures of business within the first week or two after they download the document, so I highly recommend that you check it out. You'll learn how to pick the right case study, how to target the right companies, where to find those companies, how to choose the right decision makers and where to find them, how to find their emails, how to validate them, a few other tricks that I haven't shared anywhere else online, and much more. So if you are ready to close more clients with cold email, then click the link in the description below and they'll send it over to you so you can get started today. The first point is going to be around using the right email address. So you need to make sure that you are using a valid email. This email needs to be, it can't be, I don't like sending to catch-all emails. I don't like sending to invalid emails, because you don't know if it's a catch-all email, if it's really a real email or not. And if it's invalid, you're gonna just have a high bounce rate, which can ultimately make you land in spam. If your campaigns are getting less than a 20% open rate overall, it means that you're going to spam, most likely. So that's a problem. But either way, if you want to avoid spam and increase your open rates, you want to make sure your deliverability is as high as possible. And to do that, you need to send only to valid email addresses. So my training document that I mentioned earlier in the video will show you how to make sure all the emails are valid, which will help you make more sales. So I highly recommend you click the link in the description and grab that document. It's totally free. That'll help you make more money. But point is, make sure that you only use valid emails. Another tip while we're on the email topic is to actually make sure that you're using a personal email and not a generic company email. So for example, if you're pulling emails that say info@company.com, contact@company.com, support@company.com, if you're trying to reach the decision maker, the CEO or a VP of marketing or whoever, they're not going to be checking that email. There's going to be some VA or secretary going through and screening that email. It's a gatekeeper email. So if you say, "Hi, John," but then Sally opens your email, it doesn't matter. She's not going to resonate with it, right? So that's going to lower your open rates. And the rest of the copy isn't going to pertain to her. It's just going to get thrown out. So you don't want to go and email gatekeeper emails, because odds are the person you're trying to reach isn't going to be reading it. Instead, you want to make sure that you're using their personal email. So first name, last name @company.com, for example. You want to make sure you're reaching the right person and make sure that that email is valid. So that's step number 1. This will help you get open much more often, because your copy will resonate with the person. You'll be actually hitting their inbox, and you won't be going to spam or having a high bounce rate. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is going to be using a good subject line, or tip number 2, whatever. And I know this is an obvious one, but it is really important. Your subject line is the biggest factor that comes into play when we're talking about open rates, aside from actually being delivered properly. Once your email hits the inbox, your subject line is what is going to have the biggest impact on your email being opened. So you want to use subject lines that are going to do 2 things. Very simple. Number 1, makes them want to open the email, and number 2, doesn't make them not want to open the email. So you don't want to use long subject lines that are super promotional and spammy and like marketing and da-da-da. Just super quick. One that I love, and I actually have a video about subject lines that increase open rates, and you can check out that video. I consistently get 80% and above open rates in my campaigns. But quick question still is an awesome subject line. Question about company name is an awesome subject line. Hi first name is an awesome subject line. These are really short, punchy subject lines that get opened a lot. So I would recommend using one of those subject lines or checking out the video I have about subject lines. But yeah, you want to use the right subject line, and the way that you can tell which one is best for you is by sending small tests of 20 emails at a time, each one using a different subject line. So instead of sending 100 emails at once and trying to see if it works, send 100 emails, but make it broken into 5 campaigns, each one using a different subject line, so 20 emails at a time, and you can see which subject line performs the best. And once you have that, then you can keep optimizing your campaign. So subject line is super important. Make it brief, make it quick, don't make it crazy, and you'll be good to go. Number 3 is using a good opening line of the email. So your opening line, I talk a lot about custom first lines on this channel, and I do think that they're awesome. If you can handwrite your first opening sentence for every single person that you reach out to, you're gonna have more success, like 10 times more responses, more meetings, and a higher open rate. But you don't necessarily even have to handwrite the first line of the email. All you have to do is make the first line of the email about them. Some form of personalization is going to be better than nothing, like having company name in there or some form of compliment. When I was reaching out to agencies, for example, I would say, hi John, found agency name on Clutch while looking for video agencies. Love the work you did with HP printers. I would just name one of their portfolio items. So having that opening sentence is really important, because most people, when they cold email, they just talk about themselves the whole time. Me, I offer this is my name, my company, we. It's very me-centric, and that turns people off because people care about themselves. They don't care about you. So when your email says I, me, we, us, our, those are all words that don't resonate in their head because it's not talking about them. And they automatically know it's a pitch, and they automatically aren't going to want to open it. In fact, in the inbox, alongside the subject line, you can actually see the preview of the email, the first sentence of the email. So if that preview says something about them and a compliment is something about how you like their work, or you saw this or that, read this interview, read their podcast, listened to their podcast, whatever, they're gonna wanna open it because they see quick question and then they see, hey John, loved your podcast where you interviewed so-and-so, and they're gonna wanna click on it because it seems like a personal email. The whole idea here, guys, is that emails fall into one of two categories in your inbox. They're either personal or spam and generic. So you want to avoid the generic category, spam category, and fall into the personal category by using a short subject line and a compliment in your first line. The first line needs to be about them in some capacity. That's tip number 3. Tip number 4 is to follow up. You need to follow up like crazy because the majority of your sales are gonna come from the follow up. The money's in the follow up. I have a video about this as well. Following up is super important. I actually have 2 videos. I've got one video in the car talking about following up in general in sales, how you have to follow up so many times before you get the order. But I also have a video about a follow up sequence that you can use to increase your open rates and increase your success with cold email. Ultimately, the follow-up's going to where you're going to get most of your opens, and I get the majority of my responses from the follow-up sequence. So you definitely want to follow up, and if you want to know how to follow up properly, check out the video there. But follow-ups are going to 100% increase your open rates. If you just send one email at a time and expect that to work, you are not going to have that much success. You might have some success, but the majority of what you could be earning is going to be left on the table without a follow-up sequence. So definitely follow up. And then the last tip, number 5, is going to be, if all else fails, switch your niche. And some people might not want to hear that, but at the end of the day, some niches just don't open their emails. Some people just don't check their emails, right? This is the thing about cold email marketing or any kind of marketing. The best marketing channel is not Facebook ads or Google ads or PPC, SEO, Amazon. The best marketing channel is where you can reach your customers. Just go there and market to them and sell them stuff there. Everywhere else, it doesn't matter. Like, if I want to cold email roofers, but roofers are always on roofs and not actually in their inbox because they're maybe more blue collar or something, it doesn't matter how well I craft my subject line, because if they're not even checking their email, then they're not going to see my email. So you have to go for a niche that actually is receptive to cold emails. Pretty much any industry that checks their inbox cold email will work. In any industry where they don't check their emails, it won't work. So that's kind of how you can look at it. I found that a lot of e-commerce store owners, agency owners, and SaaS company owners are all in their inboxes all the time. And I found that more local businesses and restaurant owners, those kinds of people, don't really check their inboxes. If you're emailing companies between $5 million and $150 million in revenue that are more corporate, those are the best ones to cold email. They're easy to sell to, they check their email, they have good budgets. It's just the best of both worlds. We call them golden geese companies. But yeah, if you're testing and testing and testing and you just can't break through, switch your niche. I'm always doing that. In my last video, I talked about the importance of switching the niche if it's not working. I had a situation where I was trying to cold email IT companies and I was getting like 50% open rates at best and I was having terrible results. And then I switched my niche to video production companies and all of a sudden I'm getting 80, 90, 100% open rates with the same subject line. So you want to definitely pick a niche that's going to be easy for you. And I'm going to throw in a bonus tip here at the end. Don't send gigantic generic email campaigns that are like 5,000 people at a time or 1,000 or even a few hundred people in one campaign at one time, because if you send a mass volume of emails from your email, you're probably going to hit spam. And if you hit spam, you're not going to get opened. So sending 20, 30, 40 emails a day per account is like the max that I would do. And I would personalize all of them. That way you're going to avoid spam and you can increase your deliverability, which means that you are going to be reaching the inbox properly and they'll open your emails. And the last tip that I have, also, this is a second bonus tip. And while we're talking about follow-up sequences, I highly recommend that you watch the video about follow-ups that I made so you can get all the information. But real quick, when you're following up, don't follow up at the same day at the same time every single time, right? If you send an email on a Monday at 3 p.m., don't wait till Monday at 3 p.m. to email again. Do it on a different day, because some people check their emails on Mondays, some people check their emails on different days of the week. I think most people check their emails every day, but some people, you just want to always stagger when you're hitting their inbox. And also always change the time of day, because some people check their emails in the morning, some people check their emails at night. And what can happen is if they check their email at night and you email them at 8 a.m. in the morning, they're going to have a full inbox from the entire day of people emailing them. By the time they check their email, you're at the bottom, and the guy who emailed them 1 minute before they check their inbox is at the top of the inbox, so they're going to see that first. That really increases your open rate. So you don't know when they're going to check their email. Actually, some tools like Mixmax can tell you when certain people open their emails a lot, which is cool. But for the most part, you don't know when people are checking their email. So if you email at 8 a.m. initially, and then at 2 p.m. Eastern, and then let's say 5 p.m., and then 11 a.m., and then 6 p.m., just different times, you're going to hit them eventually when they're checking their email. So you'll increase your open rates there as well. Hopefully you enjoyed this video about increasing your cold email open rates. If you did, please make sure you subscribe if you like cold email and sales content like this. And if you want me to help you with your cold email campaigns, if you want me to take a look and audit your campaigns and help you improve them, you can book a call with me down below where I will help you out. So I will see you in the next video. Take it easy. Peace.